Okay, Shalom. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under command in John YAHANNA. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. The I.S.U.P.K is not affiliated with any other group. You understand? No group, no other Israelite group, no other anything. You understand? Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shakatah.
Shalom,
Since
Yahweh
and
Shem
since since 1969, the I.S.U.P.K has been teaching that the so-called blacks of the transatlantic slave trade and the natives of North, Central, and South America, that they are the true biblical Israelites according to biblical prophecy and according to other history and archaeology, you understand? And today in the UK, you understand, we've been holding it down and keeping the Feast of Unleavened Bread, you understand, which began at Sunday sundown, and will be the closing of it will be the coming Sunday, you understand, and it will be held at B18 5PW. That's in Birmingham. You understand, the city of Birmingham in the UK. And today is the Tuesday Brotherhood class. I'm priest and officer of 500 Shamgar Bun Bun Yumyan, holding it down here in London. You understand. And today is understanding the priesthood and the brotherhood of the Most High. You understand, is understanding that these blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that were scattered to the four corners of the earth and have suffered great atrocities, and that we still suffer today. We have to know as a people that, you understand, we must come back to our heritage and the laws and commandments and the structure that our forefathers once kept. You understand? Salakia, if you get me Hebrews 12 and verse 5, one of you, Kashal. You understand? Today is about brotherhood, and it's about understanding our history and our culture. And our culture is about order and structure. Today's title is correction and discipline. You understand? We as a people cannot have brotherhood or sisterhood without understanding order and structure. You understand? There has to be an order and a structure to all things. You understand? So I want to say shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatam to the brothers, and shalom, Yahweh Shema Alathah Hashem Yahushua to the sisters. You understand? When you get it, just read it about Kusha.
Book of Hebrews, chapter 12 and verse 5. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children.
Go ahead.
My son, despise thou not the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him.
So there you go. You understand? We have forgotten the exaltation of the Most High as a people. That's what we have done. As blacks and Hispanics fallen away from our heritage, we have lost the exaltation of the Lord. We have forgotten what the Lord gave us. We've forgotten the structure and the order that the Lord gave us. You understand? And we've also forgotten about correction and order and that brotherhood that comes with that. You understand? And you understand? I said, read that last bit again about correction.
My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him.
So don't faint when you're rebuked, man. When your brothers come to the school, you understand, they come to the school and they get a shock. You understand? They get a shock to see how militant we are and how ordered we are and structured we are with rank and the way of things. You understand? There's a way to things to be done, and in the scriptures it is commanded of us to chasten or correct our brothers and sisters. You understand? Because that is the only way that we as a nation of people can come back to the order and the lawfulness of our forefathers. You understand? Slacker, read on.
For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth.
You understand? Who the Most High loveth, he chasteneth, man. That's why those blacks of the transatlantic slave trade, they went into slavery on slave ships. That's why those Tainos of South and Central America and those North American Indians, Salakia, you understand? These brothers went into slavery and went into and suffered the things that we suffer because the Lord loves us. The Lord loves Israel, and that's why we receive chastisement. You understand? The Lord loves us. That is why we receive such hard burden and go through so much, because we have forsaken our heritage. We have lost our way, and that's why. Because the Lord still loves us, that's why He's chastises us. So, like, read on.
And scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons.
That's right. So if we endure the correction of the Lord, the correction of the order, the men of the Lord that the Most High set up, you understand, in the I.S.U.P.K, under command during YAHANNA. If we endure these things, then we can be restored. The Lord will have us as his children. You understand? We are his children. We are his children. We are that nation who has been chosen above all other nations. And he gave us these laws and these structures. You understand? He gave us rank and order, and he gave us the understanding to how to chasten our brothers. You understand? And how to correct our brothers in the streets when we go out and teach at camp, when we teach classes. You understand? That's the work of the priesthood, is to chasten the people. You understand? So I can read that bit again.
I can't. Slakia. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth.
There you go,
If
man.
he
Because we are the sons and daughters of the Most High, and he is the Most High power, man. You understand? The King of heaven and earth. You understand? And we serve our King Yahushua Christ, and in order we follow the Most High. When we follow him, we follow the Most High. You understand? And we are to be as his children, man. When your father tells you something, we do it, man. You understand? When you don't do it, there's a penalty for that. You understand? There's laws and judgments for these things, man. So like, read on.
Khan. If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not?
Go ahead.
But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then ye are bastards and not sons.
So there you go, man. When we forsake the chastenings for the Lord, that's when we become boss. That's when we become drug dealers and whores and gang members. You understand? Destroying ourselves and committing to abortions and black on black crime, man, and hating one another. That's what becomes of us, because we become bastards. We become heathen like in our ways. That's why our nation is so destroyed today, because we have become bastards. You understand? But through our King, we can receive that correction, and we can receive the knowledge of how to come back to the laws of our fathers. You understand? But right now, as a nation of people, we have become bastards. We have fallen astray from what the Lord gave us. You understand? Slaki, read on. What verse you in?
I'm at verse 8. That's like verse 9.
Can't read on.
Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father and Spirit? Be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live.
You understand? When we are subject to the Father of spirits, the Most High power, you understand? The power above all powers, you understand? Which is what that means. We'll find great. You know what I mean? We'll be better off, basically. You understand? We'll be better off when we submit ourselves to the greater power that there is, the Most High power. Then we will be better off, man. When we will submit to what the Most High has given us, we'll be restored as a nation of people. So like, read on.
For they verily for a few days chastened us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. Now, no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness.
So understand that when we as a nation get chastised, it's not going to be nice. You understand? It's not going to feel good. You understand? But at the last end, it will be great. You understand? The fruits that come from it, the fruits that come from that correction, is true love. You understand? The fruits that come from the correction of the Lord is to restore you, man, to restore blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We say that you understand, we should not envy the oppressor and stop following after the ways of the heathens around about us, wherever we may dwell. You understand? That's because that's the chastisement of the Lord. And we as a nation of people tend to be weak enough to not actually see what is right in front of us. Every other nation and ethnic group around the earth can understand and adhere to the fact that we are being oppressed and we are not loved by the people that we want to beg and follow after. But that's why the Lord sent men of the Lord that's why he sent the priests and prophets to actually correct and chasten the people, so that they can understand that loving a nation of people who oppress you is only to your own destruction, is only to your is not to your benefit. You understand? So I can read that last bit again.
Nevertheless, afterward, it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto
Mm-hmm.
them which are exercised thereby.
So after all the chastisement and the correction, you understand, when brothers come in, man, they doing things in the worldly, and they have to learn new conduct and new ways how to carry themselves and walk and do things. Then at the last end, when they hearken unto that correction, they endure it, they'll receive that great righteous fruit, man, because now in their actions and their deeds they come correct and they know better, and then afterwards they will have peace, and they will then be able to teach other brothers and sisters. You understand? So
Well,
like, what verse is that?
that's verse 12. It's like verse 11.
Khan, drop that here, and can you get me Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 1, Baba Kashar? What we got to understand as a people is that, you understand, to really have brotherhood and sisterhood is to understand the order of things, is to understand that our carnality means nothing. You understand? We have to learn and rethink ourselves, and to learn how to, be selfless and be that way where we can see what is right and wrong, and forsake what we think and feel, rather, you understand? Because that's what we do in the world. In the world, we do whatever feels good. We smoke weed, we get drunk, we take all manners of drugs and pills, and we whore out our sisters. Our sisters abort their babies. You understand? That's all based on feelings and emotions, not based on the facts, not based on order and structure and what is right and wrong. You understand? So
Right.
I can read that when you got it.
Oh, okay. The book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge.
So when we love instruction, we come back to the laws of our forefathers, because in this time of 2021, being lawless, you understand, is what we've come accustomed to. Doing whatever feels good, doing whatever our impulse says to do, has become our way. But the Bible says that those who love instruction. Read that again, Slakin.
Kawakan. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge.
There you go, man. If you love instruction and laws and commandments to follow, you understand, then you will love knowledge, man. And that will be shown through you, how you conduct yourself, how you speak and walk on this earth. That will be shown, and you will have that knowledge to teach others. You understand? Slakin, read on.
Kawakan. But he that hateth reproof is brutish.
So there you go, man. If you hate structure and order and discipline, you will be brutish. You understand? You'll be without any type of decorum. You understand? There'll be no order. There'll be no structure. There'll be no nothing. You understand? You just do what you want, and in the midst of that, your people suffer. You suffer because you're damaging yourself, but in the midst of that, your people will suffer too. You understand? Your brothers and sisters will suffer, and that's why our communities are the way they are today. That's why we as a people have these bywords and curses upon us, because we chose to be lawless and to love other nations of people who hate us, rather than to follow what the Lord gave us. You understand? Rather than to follow the structure and the lawfulness of the Most High. So I can read on.
Kawakan. A good man obtaineth favor of the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
but a man of wicked devices will he condemn.
Mm-hmm.
A man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall be but the root of the righteous shall not be moved.
So there you go. You understand that the Most High will reward those who are good, those who are righteous. You understand? But the root of the righteous cannot stand. You know what I mean? You know how you got a root under trees. Trees are big and powerful things. You understand? Trees are strong. You understand? And underneath those trees is in the ground, is in the roots. That's where it all began, in the roots, in the soil. You understand? And the root of the righteous will never stand. It will never hold up such a strong and powerful tree. It will never prevail. You understand? The root of the righteous will fail. You understand? So, like, read that bit again. The root of the righteous, unrighteous. Like,
The, a man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved.
right. So, like, the root of the righteous shall be strong. You understand? So, if you're wicked, you can't stand. You won't be able to. You don't have that strong root. If you're slacker, if you're unrighteous, if you're wicked, you understand, you won't have those strong roots that will hold you. You understand? You will not prevail in your life. That's why blacks and Hispanics, when they want to sell drugs and defile themselves and damage and oppress their own people and commit the life of crime, who ends up with all the money? You know what I mean? You got all these different ethnic groups now. Every nation under the heaven commits gang violence. Every nation under the heaven, has criminals among them. Well, in 2021, whether in the UK, whether in the Americas, wherever you may dwell, in Europe, all over, you understand, our criminals do not do very well. You understand? For the most part, you understand. For the most part, our criminals always are the ones that actually get arrested. They're always the ones who get stopped and searched and get all these years, and they're not the ones who, like on the movies where you got like Al Capone and Al Pacino in that movie, was it Scarface and that. Our brothers and sisters are not living that life. You see, when the oppressor does that and lives that way, he does well. He's doing good. He's thriving. You know what I mean? And our brothers watch that and want to imitate that, but yet we got to realize that the Lord has chosen us, and we have to remember that He gave our forefathers laws, and there's a reason why we don't tend to have that success. You know what I mean? You don't have that success like you see in the movies. You don't be living in a lavish life, in a big ass yard and nice vehicle and all these, for a time maybe. But the reality is most brothers that do that, the white, the Caucasian, you understand, the oppressors, criminals, they will have like a big yard, big, they'll have businesses to launder the money and all that, so they can pass for that. That's their money's income from that business, which is not. The heathen will get that, and they'll live like kings based on their criminality. Our brothers, you be living, you got the best shoes, you got nice shoes, and you got maybe some nice trackies and that. But your money, where's your money? You ain't got no big building, you ain't got no house, you ain't got no nice car. You understand? You're living in the same estate. You know what I mean? You're living in a council estate in South London somewhere, and you got money in a little box under your bed. You understand? We don't strive like them in those criminal lifestyles, because the Lord said that the root of a wicked man, he will not stand. His wickedness will never prevail. He won't have those strong roots. You understand? That's what we got to realize. Coming back to our heritage, coming back to understand that we are a different set of people. Everybody envies us in the lowest state to the highest state of us. You know what I mean? Whether you're rich or poor, famous or not famous, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are envied of their enemies. You understand? And our enemies like to copy how we walk and talk and do things, but meanwhile, they're benefiting from things that we tried to do that we cannot do, because we're not built for that. We were not chosen to be that, man. We was chosen to be the priest and prophets of the Lord, and to police the world, man, to run this one and rule over them. You understand? We was not made to be the criminals and the scumbags, but we have become subject unto that because we love to follow after them. You understand? So, like, what verse was that?
That was verse 3.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 4. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is as rottenness in his bones.
So there you go, man. With our sisters, man, out here, man, in the world, man, doing things that are wicked and unrighteous as could possibly be. But we gotta know this, man. We gotta get it right. We gotta know that every brother knows this, man. When you got a woman that just loves to run her mouth and loves to be out of order, it's like a rot in his bones, man. You understand? It's like a rot that he can't even get rid of. It's inside his body. You understand? And that's what our sisters have become, man. Clamorous as hell, losing their hair. You understand? Trying to get the oppressor woman's hair. You understand? Having abortions or chatting up to man. Sometimes even running the household and beating up their man. You understand? And a lot of the time, what happens is in those households is the woman being pushed to be masculine by these oppressors women. And they're taken after, once again, following after another nation of people and being like women's lib and all that. And then they want to step to men in the house. And the natural order of things is the man is supposed to be the head. But they have turned it around and they've become that rot in the brother's bones. And understand that when the woman does that, she only tries to take up the image of the man, but actually takes up the role of the man too. And she wants to then challenge the man physically. And then a lot of the time what happens to brothers is it's just not in them to like that. And then they end up, no one's advocating those domestic violence, but that tends to be what happens. You understand? it tends to be what happens is the man just gets fed up and then punches her over in the face. And then she, getting into reality, realizes that this is a man. But because of what's being pushed and because of what we follow and what's being pushed down our throats, our sisters have become that rotten in the bones, you understand? That rot in the bones that will defile the household and cause disruption among households and it will hurt the children in the end, you understand? Because every brother can understand and adhere to when you have a baby mother, right? And you have kids and she's so wild and so oppressive and wants to be so masculine that she keeps you from your kids, you understand? But then meanwhile the child will grow up thinking that the father hates him or doesn't care about him, but that's not always the case. And a lot of the time it is the sisters. And we gotta remember that, man. When you're coming back into brotherhood and sisterhood, you understand, all of us have to come back to the laws and the structure of the Most High. The Most High said that the man is the head of the household and the woman shall take orders from him. You understand? But all this, what we're seeing today in the UFC, you got what do you call it? Everyone wants to be equal, right? And then what happens is everyone wants to be equal, which is foolishness, because the Lord didn't create things that way. Everyone wanted to be equal. They're not understanding that men are completely different from women. Men are built to be in charge. You understand? And then what happens now? Because of the uncleanness of the oppressor and how he likes to be such a deviant bastard. You understand? You got men fully, big friggin' bodybuilders, man, putting on a wig and saying they're women now, and thumping women down for sport in the UFC, and that's because of the unlawfulness of this world, and we being caught up in the midst of it, we get a mix of that uncleanness too. You understand? And this is the thing. These things, what I mean, and then they want to say, that's what they want. They want every man and woman to be equal. Well, technically, that's equal. We know it ain't right. We know the Lord said they wouldn't know what is equal. You understand? We know the Lord said that it's the Most High, our King Yahawashi, man, woman, child. That's what the Lord said. You understand? But when you look into this unlawful world where there's no order, no structure, this is what you find, because it's pure confusion. First, they allowed the homosexuals to do what they want to do, and then now they're pushing for men who like children. They're pedophiles, whatever you want to call it, but they want to put a technical name on it and make it a normal thing. But we know by the structure of the Most High, you understand, that if there was no pedophile, there'd be no homosexuals. All of that would be impossible in the kingdom to come. You understand? But this is why we must come back to the structure and the order of the Most High, because all this unlawfulness that we see, it will only destroy us as it has done. So, like, read on.
The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceit.
There you go, man. Any wicked man, his counsel would always be deceit, man. You know what I mean? In the UPK, we learn ourselves, and we teach our brothers and sisters to learn selflessness and to think of the people. You know what I mean? That's why we devote our lives to this truth and serve the Most High in Christ. But in the world, man, you got brothers, man, they got deceit, man. Anything they do, you know what I mean? You think you can trust them, and then some way, form, or fashion, it will become a deceit, man. They will somehow try to better themselves and their own household rather than their own people. And this is what we found, man. This is like we find in the Christian church. So like, read on.
The words of the wicked are to lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them.
You understand? The mouth of the upright will deliver the people, man. Since 1969, that's what the I.S.U.P.K has been doing, delivering the people, man. The mouth of the righteous has been delivering the people, man. You understand? This is the only reality. When you look into these fake Israelite groups, they have only furthered the oppression of our people. You know what I mean? They think they're better than the Christian in the church, banging the tambourine, but they're no different, man. Us in the truth in the UPK, we know they're no different. You understand? We know that, because whether you want to like the oppressor or Hamite or Chinese, Japanese, whatever it is, either way, you're still deciding to join hand in hand with the heathen and in the process oppress your own people. And this is what they've done in these fake groups, man. These heretics, you understand? This is what they have done. This is what they've allowed. Understanding that, we must understand that there can only be one West. There's only one West. The Lord ain't got places everywhere. That's confusion because they teach nonsense. You understand? There's always been one West. This is where the Lord put his name. This is where the secrets of prophecy was revealed. You understand? And here's the thing. This is the reality that we got to understand. When you join these fake Israelite groups and you decide to side with other nations and call them brother, you're worse than the Christian in church, because the Christian in church, he knows what he's doing. You understand? He's been doing that. That's been happening for generations. You claim now to learn your heritage, but now you want to still drag heathen in there with you. You understand? You've been even in fake Israelite groups. They've been understand the breakdowns and the knowledge that came out of the UPK. You understand? And with that knowledge, they still decide to join with the heathen, man. They are cowards, man. The UPK is a no cowards organization. You understand?
Right.
There is no cowards in here. You understand? When a man decides to love another nation over his own, you understand, and understand that they're the children of Israel. Listen, man, you are a coward and you are soft. You understand? And that's why we must keep it one West all the time, man. Slack, you read on.
Verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
The wicked are overthrown and are not, but the house of the righteous shall stand.
Mm-hmm.
A man shall be commended according to his wisdom, but he that is of a perverse heart shall be despised.
So there you go, man. When you're righteous, you'll be commended of the wisdom that comes out of you through your actions, through how you live the day to day and what you say and do. You understand? But in the righteousness, in the world of the righteous, and in the eyes of the Most High, the wicked will be condemned, man. You understand? There is no level of mercy, man. There is something called that we can see today in our oppressor's kingdom. There is something called trailer trash, man. You know what I mean? There are oppressors who live dirt poor, sometimes even poorer than us, and they still think they're better than us, but yet they are not living as the rest of their people, man, as the rest of their brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? And the kingdom to come will be the same way, man. You know what I'm saying? There'll be brothers and sisters who was rebellious and weak and cowardly and decided to, join this world and become defiled with this world. And then the kingdom will come, and then they will come back in the next generation, generations to come, and they will be with nothing, man. The people will rule, but they will be living sometimes even lower than the heathen, man. You understand? That's what we got to remember. There is no fairy tale land where the righteous who have been holding it down in the midst of this wicked kingdom, even in the midst of all that we endure, we still hold it down and serve the Most High. And you think you're just going to come and just pop along? Nah, man, don't work like that, man. You understand? Those who will be in rule will be the righteous, you understand? So I can read on.
He that is despised and hath a servant is better than he that honoureth himself and lacketh bread.
You understand? It's better to be. So I can read the last bit again. So okay.
It's like he that is despised and hath a servant is better than he that honoureth himself and lacketh bread.
So there you go, man. He that is despised, you understand, and a humble servant. This is the UPK today, man. We are despised, man. We're the ones that everyone is scared of and looks down on, man, and speaks ill of. You understand? Those are the righteous. We are those who are despised in this kingdom. But it's better to be a despised and humble servant rather than someone who bigs up themselves and thinks there's something in this unclean place. And then the Lord will have his judgment, man. Judgment will be executed. You understand? Read on.
A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel.
So there you go, man. You know what I mean? There's no mercy with the wicked, man. The wicked have no understanding of what it means to be honorable in their things, man. You know what I mean? A righteous man will have cows, sheep, and dogs, and whatever else, you understand? But he would treat them animals, accordingly, you understand? You know what I mean? Yes, we got the lamb slaughter, but we have been given, the Lord gave Adam authority over all beasts, you understand? He gave man authority over the beast. And you know what I mean? But to abuse animals and to not look after them, that's unrighteous, man. You understand? When our people come from a people of husbandry, you understand? Farmers, you understand? People that work the field and work their flocks, and you understand, and herds. We in our righteousness did not abuse our animals like we see the oppressor do, you understand? I mean, the oppressors in this kingdom, You know what I mean? They abuse and destroy everything that they touch just to get their benefit, just to get their money. You understand? But we, in our righteousness, we didn't do that, man. You understand? The scriptures say that when the righteous are in rule, the people will rejoice. And now the people are mourning. Every nation is mourning under the feet of the oppressor, because they are wild beasts and they'll do anything to get what they want. You understand? They don't care about the people of the land. Even in our rule, we will execute judgment upon them, but it still be righteous. You know what I mean? It'll be what they're owed. But they're not going to be overly abused, and we're not wicked. We're not going to be defiled. We're not going to defile ourselves to enforce judgment. You understand? It doesn't work that way. What verse was that?
That was verse 10.
Okay, no sweat. If you get me, drop that, yeah. And if you get me, First Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 25, Baba Kasha. You understand? Our brothers and sisters in the world have learned to hate one another and despise one another, and that is formulated based on, their emotion, not also based on what the oppressors forced down our throats, the Christianity and the philosophy and all that BS, but it's also as well the lack of discipline that he's also enforced. When you look at him as a nation of people, they are unlawful, man. There's nothing they won't eat. There's nothing they won't do. They think everything's cool. They think everything's down. A black man back in the day, and even today, in the UPK anyway, a black man back in the day would not try to get involved and try to get himself involved in the things of the oppressor. There's some things that we held, we held some dignity growing up in our households. But the oppressor, he would just do things that are just like, what? You understand? The things that the oppressor will do, there's nothing they won't do, man. You understand? There's nothing they won't. There's nothing that is sacred to them. They are just wild beasts. You understand? And we must remember our place, man. We must remember our level of lawfulness that is in us, man. You understand? So, like, read it, Bokasha.
I've got that one.
Go ahead.
Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24.
So, like, say it again. You're cutting out. So, like, you're a bit muffled.
9 and 25.
Go ahead.
And every man that striveth for mastery is temperate in all things.
Mm-hmm.
Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible.
Right. So understand that in this day and age, brothers and sisters will seek a corruptible crown, man. They will seek, fame and riches and rule in this unclean kingdom, thinking that it means anything. But we, in the truth, we will seek an incorruptible crown, man. You will rule this earth in righteousness, man. You will do things according to the law and the good of this world. You understand? The good that the Lord gave us. You understand? The power and the structure that the Lord gave us to be incorruptible, man. You know what I mean? This kingdom is vile and corrupt, and they oppress the people. Even not just our people, but everyone. You understand? Every nation they oppress, because they not just the nations, but the earth itself they oppress, man. The oceans they oppress, the beasts of the field, everything they oppress everything. You know what I mean? Even the bloody ozone layer they oppress, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what we must understand. We seek an incorruptible crown. You know what I mean? We don't seek quick riches and a little bit of drug money and a little bit of fame and a little bit of this from this vile kingdom, man. He can keep that. You understand? But we will solely try to strive for an incorruptible crown. Read on.
Verse 26. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly. So fight I, not as one that
hold on, 1 second. Let me get there with you, because it's a bit muffled. Bear with me. Yeah, read that again, Bob Kishar. Read that again.
26.
Correct.
I, therefore, so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I not as one that beateth the air.
So we don't fight. We don't I mean we don't. We're not as those who, you know, what I mean, we're uncertain enough in our ways and our thinking and how we do things in our life. You understand? You know, what I mean, we're not uncertain. Like in the world, brothers and sisters don't know what from what. You know, what I mean, they don't know what's going to happen. No, you know, what I mean, they don't know what's the plan. They're confused. You know, what I mean, they have that lack of knowledge. You understand? They don't know, you know, what to look to in the time of oppression. They don't know what to do with themselves. You know what I mean? They understand that we being oppressed by these other nations and we're being treated a certain way, but yet they're so bamboozled and uncertain in their lifestyle that they will know better to come and give your compassion and love to your own people. They wouldn't know to stop trying to affiliate yourself in their affairs and rather look to your own. You understand? Look to your power. You understand? And your king. You understand? Rather than the affairs, and they're uncertain in all their things. They don't know what to do. They're wishy washy. They don't know what to stand for in this world and what not to, because they want to be accepted by everybody and they want to be weak because they are uncertain in their lives. But we don't come. We're not uncertain. We're not fighting the air and, you know, in confusion. We're not like that. But read on.
Verse 27. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection.
There you go, man. You understand? We that are in the truth, we know who we serve, man. We know the Most High. We know what the laws have given us, and know our place on this earth, our rightful place. You understand? And we know how to move in this kingdom. We keep our body in subjection. We know how to be disciplined and orderly. You understand? That's what we know in the truth. That's what the Lord gave us, man. To be keeping our bodies in subjection. You understand? We know not to smoke because everybody else is smoking. We know not to take another a heathen nation to wife. You understand? We know that. That's based on our laws. That's what we would know. You understand? Those of us in the truth. You understand? We will know not to dabble in things and not to eat certain things that the nations that are around about us they eat. You know what I mean? They eat everything. You know what I'm saying? They eat rat, they eat bat, they eat cat, dog. You know what I mean? Pig, everything they eat. You know what I mean? But we know. We're not uncertain. We're not wishy washy. We know where we go. We know what's good for us, and know how we're supposed to conduct ourselves in all things. You know what I'm saying? In every situation, and we would always know to move wisely. You understand? Be as wise as a serpent and as harmless as a dove in this captivity. We know how to keep our bodies in subjection and have that discipline. You understand? Read on.
Let not by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself be a castaway.
Right. So lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. You understand? So we should know that in the midst of us, you know what I mean, in the midst of our lifestyle and us serving the Most High, we know that we're not going to be like the fake Israelite groups, man. We're not going to be like those heretics in the Christian church and those groups, man, in the Muslim mosque. We're not going to be like them because we know who we serve. And we know that when we preach the truth of the Most High, we have to know that we have to be disciplined because we can't be a castaway. We can't be preaching and teaching all this and then want to be, you know, like them. You understand? Be hypocrites like in those fake groups or the Christian church, man. Which is the same damn thing. We're not going to be like that, man. We're not going to forsake our people in that manner. You understand? We're going to know how to move in this place, man, and understand that that's what it means, man. You know what I mean? We got to make sure that we're disciplined in all that we do because we can't be talking the talk and not walking the walk. You understand? We got to be about it, man. You understand? This is our life to the death. This is what we got to know because everybody else is wishy-washy and they don't know what it means to live a life of selflessness and discipline, a code of conduct that will keep you, you understand, from the wants and the lust of your own carnal desires. You understand? Because you serve a greater power. You understand? That's what we must remember in all things, man. You know what I'm saying? With the feast of unleavened bread, we got to get that leaven and keep that leaven out of us, man. You know what I mean? We got to keep it unleavened. You know what I mean? Keep it. You know what I mean? Keep it one west. You understand? In the midst of this feast. So like, drop. What was that? What verse was that?
That was it. That was the last verse, 27.
Okay, no sweat. If you drop that here, and if you get me Revelations chapter 3 and verse 15, Baba Kishore. You understand? We as a people can never achieve the true understanding, the core of brotherhood and sisterhood without order and structure, man. We have to always keep that in our mind and know it to be in ourselves, man. We gotta remember that, because that's what the Lord gave us, man. The Lord gave us structure and order of things, man. You understand? So like, yeah, when you got it, yeah, whoever got it.
Go
on.
The book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot.
So there you go, man. The Most High, well, you know what I'm saying? This is John the Revelator, but you understand as Christ and understand this, right? He's saying that, you understand, know thy work, and rather be that, you know what I mean? Know that. He's saying basically, you know what I'm saying? He knows that certain men are kind of cold and no hot. They're not cold or hot. You know what I mean? Meaning cold, meaning they ain't down for this truth. They're wishy-washy. They ain't got no backbone. They ain't strong for this, man. They're just there, you know, just hanging around and existing. You understand? And hot, meaning that they're down for this truth and ready to die for this thing. And he said that, you know, read that again. They know that they're neither hot nor cold.
Oh, okay. I would thou wert hot or cold.
Mm-hmm. No, read the first bit. Read the first bit, Baba Kishore.
I know thy works, that thou art neither cold or hot.
Mm-hmm.
I would thou wert hot. It's like I would thou wert cold or hot.
So you understand that it's saying that some brothers and sisters that were there saying that they weren't cold or hot, man. They were like trying to balance on the fence. They were, what they call it, well, they were lukewarm. They weren't cold or hot. You know what I'm saying? They weren't down or they were just you know, they were weak basically. You understand? And he would the most and he's saying here that, you know what I mean, he'd rather that you be cold and you ain't down, or you be hot, man, or you ready. You understand? Rather than being wishy-washy and soft, you're right. You know what I mean? Our king would rather have it that we would be strong, man. We would either be hot, boiling hot, or we would be cold as the winters can be. You understand? And be just weakened in the world. He'd rather that than being wishy-washy and soft. You understand? Read on.
So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
So there you go, man. Because you think that, you know what I mean, you can be halfway in and halfway out. You know what I mean? You think you can call yourself by the name of the Lord and know you're an Israelite, but then want to live like a someone in the world. You understand? It doesn't work like that, man. The Lord said he will spit you out, man. You understand? You'll be spit out. Rather that you pick a side, man. You understand? A lot of these fake Israelites, you understand? They on the sidelines. They ain't joining no group and all the rest of it. They ain't, you know what I mean? They're just on their ones. Nah, man. Listen, you sideline niggas, Salakia. You know what I mean? The Lord ain't dealing with no sideline niggas. He dealing with those who are down. You understand? And he would prefer that you would choose your side and be his enemy or be with him. You understand? But he damn straight ain't with no one that's just on the sidelines talking, but he ain't on the front line doing the work of the Most High. You understand? He rather either you pick a side or you just get out, man. You gonna vomit you out. You understand? Read on.
Okay. Because thou sayest, I am rich and increased with goods, and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked.
So you understand that, knowing that the riches and all that, you understand, and you don't know yourself because you don't know. Second, read that one more time, Bob Kishar, a bit.
Okay. Because thou sayest, I am rich and increased with goods, and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched and miserable, and poor and blind and naked.
Go ahead.
I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich.
So there you go, man. People will protest and say that they're rich and they're full of this and they're full of that, but really and truly they don't understand and realize that truly what they are is poor and nothing. They are at the bottom of the heap. You understand? They really believe that they have this because they can talk a big game, but the reality is that they ain't really about it, man. They ain't really down like that, man. The Lord said He would have us put into a furnace, man, put into the furnace of adversity, man. You understand? Just like gold is tried in the fire. Whenever you try the metal, you understand? You put the gold, you put the ore into the flame and melt it down, and all the matter, the crap, the undesirable things, the dirt, the other alloys, the other things. You understand? All of that will melt away, and that pure gold. That's what he wants. He doesn't want man just chatting and talking, but it ain't about the work of the Most High. You understand? Basically, read on.
I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed.
So there you go, man. You would prefer that you be righteous and down, you be clean, man. You be in that white raiment, meaning simplifying righteousness and cleanness. Correct. And that gold, meaning that you've gone through the fire of tribulation, and you've now restored yourself to what you should be. You understand? That's what the Lord would rather have you be. Read on.
And that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear.
There you go, man. You know what I mean? You won't be shamed in your nakedness, in your uncleanness, in your wickedness. You understand? What verse was that?
I'm in verse 18.
Come on, read on.
And anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten.
So there you go, man. You got to anoint your eyes and eye salve. You understand? So that you can actually see, because many of our brothers and sisters in the world, they're blind, man. They can't see what the Lord has opened their eyes to see, and that's what the Lord would rather have you be, man. You'd rather be able to. You can see the oppression of your people, and you can see the right way, the right path. But a lot of people are blind to their own lust, blind to what feels good and how they think, and blind to the love of the oppressor. You understand? Blind to that foolishness and vanity, rather than seeing what's clear and evident and what the true path of the Lord is. That's what people are blind to see. You understand? But the Lord will have us. The Lord will have us prefer us to be clear, that we can actually see. Read on. What's that from there? Yeah.
God. As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten.
So there you go, man. As many as the Lord loves, He rebukes and chastises, man. He corrects them, man. You understand? Because the Lord loves Israel, man. He loves YAHANNA, man. You understand? That's what the Lord loves. He ain't loving no other nation, because he ain't chastising them, man. He ain't chastising them for the crimes or for the breaking of the laws. You understand? That's the Lord ain't dealing with them, man. The Lord ain't putting judgment upon them for the transgression of the law. You understand? They will have a judgment for how they treated His people. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted. Their judgment is coming, but the Lord loves us. The Lord loves Israel, man. And just like any father who loves his child, he's going to correct them, because he wants his child to be best as he can possibly be. Well, that's how Israel is, man. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we receive such oppression and go through such turmoil because the Lord loves us, man. That's what you have to remember when we go through certain things and we coming through different trials and tribulations in our lives, and when we pursue righteousness sincerely, the Lord will give you that, man. The Lord will give you those trials, but you got to be about it, man. You can't be lukewarm. You have to be hot. You have to be down. You have to be boiling hot, or you got to be cold, man. And cold, you choose a side, you live and die with the oppressor. That's on you. But he'd rather that you pick a side, man. You understand? Read on from there.
Come. Be zealous, therefore, and repent.
So be zealous, man. Have that zeal, man. Be down for the Lord, man, and His ways, man. Have your culture and be ready and ready to die for what you believe, man. Be zealous, man. Have that zeal to be ready for whatever. You understand? Read on.
Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him and he with me.
So there you go, man. When you open the door, meaning figuratively, of course, you understand? When you open the door to the righteousness of the Lord and the way of the Lord and the lifestyle that it comes with, you understand? And the tribulation also that it comes with, the Lord will be with you, man, in all things. The Lord will protect you and guide you in all things, man. Because, you've accepted the Lord and you've accepted to be righteous rather than to be carnal. So I can drop that, and get me, so like you said something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, when you open the door, meaning the heart of your mind, to receive, just like receive the law, statutes, and commandments, man, and to do what those says the Lord.
That's right, man. Damn right. That's exactly it. You know what I mean? Damn right. So like if you drop that, and get me Proverbs 29, And verse 15, Bokashah. We have to remember that the Lord chose us, man. And in the midst of all these heathens round about us, all the things and the uncleanness of this world that's pushed in down the TV and even on kids' programs as well, it's defiled these days, man. We got to remember that, man. We got to remember that when we got up into them and they pushing all these things in their schools and all the rest of it. We have to remain strong. And we have to remember that, you know, we two is better than one. You understand? Two is better than one. So we have to remember that we have our brothers and sisters in the truth that we can speak to and help us to guide us in our affliction and to help us get us through our affliction. When we segregate ourselves from those brothers and sisters in the truth, and we choose to be separate and choose to be worldly and wishy-washy and lukewarm, then you'll find out, man. You understand? We have to be hot, man. We have to pick this side and be down for it, man. Not be some, you know what I mean? Not be weak and soft. We have to be about it, or be concrete in choosing your side and being, you understand, being cold as the winter. You understand? That's the only way we can achieve brotherhood and sisterhood and achieve the kingdom and achieve rulership is by keeping it, you know what I mean, being hardcore with it, man, not being soft, you know what I mean? It's just like anything. It's like anything, man. I prefer a man who openly speaks to me and says, you know what, we are enemies. You understand? Rather than a man who's soft and shook and would just hide behind closed doors and do things behind your back, rather than being in my face about it. You understand? And that's how the Lord is, man. He'd rather you say, listen, man, I'm on this side, rather than you being shook and hiding and lurking like a little, you know, like a rodent, man. You understand?
Right.
We have to be about this, man, or about whatever decisions that we decide to make. So like, read that, Bokasha.
Proverbs 29 and 15. The rod and reproof giveth wisdom.
So okay, 1 second, you kind of cut out 1 second. Let me just get just in case. 29. Yeah, read that again, Bokasha.
God, the rod and reproof giveth wisdom.
You understand? So the rod and reproof giveth wisdom, man. You understand? That correction, you know what I mean? That chastisement, that gives you wisdom. When a brother is corrected on how he talks and how he does things that are from the world, you understand, or a sister for that matter, you know what I mean? Whoever, brother or sister, when they are given that correction, you know what I mean, it gives you wisdom, man. That's how you will achieve wisdom, because that's what the Lord gave us, man. The Lord commanded us that we should not bear bear sins on our brothers. I'm paraphrasing. And so we should not allow them to commit iniquity, you understand, in our sight. We must correct them, give them reproof and correction. That is the scriptures, you understand? And through that, they will gain wisdom. So I can read on.
God. But a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame.
So there you go, man. And the reason why it says the mother is because generally the mother is the one that raises the children, because the man would normally be the one working, you understand? That's just a general thing, you know what I mean? Because tend to be the mother more time. But regardless, you understand? It'll bring your household shame, man. Your child who's left to himself and less to think and do what he thinks is right and how he feels, and not given instruction and order and discipline and given that correction, he will bring shame onto you, man. You understand? He will sell drugs. He will kill his brothers and sisters. You understand? He will defile himself to become a homosexual and bring great shame onto you because you've allowed him or her to commit these acts. You understand? You've allowed your daughter to be loose and run around like you know what I mean, like Becky and that. You understand? We have to remember that we cannot allow any of our brothers and sisters to commit to wickedness, man. And our children, of course. So I can read on.
Verse 16. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases.
So there you go, man. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, man. Whenever you go to the blocks, man, or the council estate, and you look at the community and how it is, it's because wickedness has been allowed to multiply within the community, man. Within it starts off with each household, and then after time, the children will follow after the parents and how they've been, and then it will just go on and on and on. You understand? Until the entire community is consumed by that uncleanness, and that the transgression is taking over the entire neighborhood. That's what we find, man. Because we're not governed by the laws of our fathers. We've become, subservient to the laws of the oppressor and the ways and philosophies of him, and that is why we have lost our way. You understand? So, like, you read on.
Oh God. But the righteous shall see their fall.
Read that again, Salaki.
But the righteous shall see their fall.
You understand? The righteous will see their fall, meaning what? The righteous will know, according to the law and the judgments, they will know that there are the great transgressions that they commit. They know that there's the righteous will have their eyes to see, because they will know by the law. They're the ones that dwell in the law and keep their minds within the righteousness of the Most High. But they will know the fall of such things. Read on.
Verse 17. Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest.
So when you correct your son, you understand? Correct your son, your daughter, your brothers and sisters, you understand? When you correct people, they will give thee rest, because you know that, listen, man, I've raised him right, you understand? When you come into school and you've come up and done your 90 days and you're getting all black, and then you've come a long way, and you've dealt with correction and been reproved and shown how to be, you understand? You will give the men above you rest. When a child is corrected the same way, you know what I mean? You'll be give them, and give your parents rest, man. You understand? Because they know, listen, man, I trust my boy because he follows according to what I tell him. You understand? In the same way with vice versa. You understand? We have to remember that. Listen, man, that's what gives our rest. We don't have to worry about, what's he gonna do this or she gonna do that. You understand? That's what the Lord says, man. So, like, read on.
Yea, he shall give thee delight unto thy soul.
There you go, man. You be proud of him, man. You be proud of that boy bringing up, man. That he's righteous, man, and you be proud of how he's decided to govern his life, because he has followed according to your correction. So that's the same way in the UPK, man. In the UPK, brothers and sisters that come up in here, you give the men above you pride, and you give them joy, because you will follow according to the correction of the school and the protocols. You understand? That will give any brother joy, man. You understand? And it will relieve him from stress, because he don't have to worry if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna do that. You know what I mean? Read on.
Verse 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish.
So there you go, man. Without that righteous vision and leadership and guidance, the people will perish. Because look at the Black and Hispanic and Native American community today. Are we not perishing? Have we not been perishing and being as perishables, suffering under the hands of and the feet of our oppressor, and oppressing ourselves and loving nations which hate us? We have been suffering and we have been failing because we have not been guided appropriately. You understand? We have not been guided by the men of the Lord, like Command John YAHANNA and the men under him. You understand? You know what I mean? We've been guided by people like Martin Luther King and Louis Farrakhan and all these other sellout, no good, no backbone weaklings, man, who have forsaken the Most High and have chose to love white women or love the oppressor's God and love them rather than his people and the Most High that chose us, man. You understand? And this is the reality, man. Without that guidance, you'll be wearing a bow tie and you'll be oppressing your own people, selling drugs to your own people. You'll be in the Christian church banging a tambourine like a damn fool and being the biggest faggot you can find on the planet Earth. You understand? But know this, that the men in the UPK are the men that you should follow. And that is where the guidance is, man. That's where you'll be directed aright to learn the paths of the Most High. But when you want to follow after weak men who will not give you that proper vision, which is the righteousness of the Lord, that vision is that correction. That vision is that righteous path and that way that we are looking towards, the kingdom that we are looking towards, the service of the Most High and our King Yahushua. You understand? That is what we should. That's the vision that our people need. And without that, the people will fail, man. People will destroy themselves, man. You understand? Read on.
But He that keepeth the law, happy is he.
So like you cut out.
But he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
There you go, man. He that keepeth the law of the Most High, that's when you find happiness, man. You understand? That's true happiness. Not the happiness that we find in this world where, we got all this money, we got nice shoes, but yet, deep down in our hearts, that's why we smoke weed, because we're living a lie, basically. You got all the carnal things that you think makes you happy, and you think that will give you a prosperous life. But true prosperity is within the soul, man. Within your heart, man. You understand? Within your heart is the true prosperity, because you be fulfilled in your life. When you live a life of crime and uncleanness and dishonorable acts, you understand? You will never be happy. You understand? You will be like a black hole, and doesn't matter what type of money and wealth and vain things that you put in there, and you think that's something. You won't have no happiness, man. A man who has all that he needs and a strong family and his sons and daughters and good wives that he can trust, you understand? And brothers and sisters that he can trust, and that strong and healthy lifestyle that he lives in righteousness, he'll be better off than that man who sells drugs, damages himself and his people, but has more money than the righteous man. But the righteous man will be way more happy than him. Way more fulfilled in his life than that man with all that money and all the nice cars and all the rest of it. Because he is truly not happy, man. He hates himself, man. You know what I'm saying? He battles with his mind every night. That's why he smokes weed and sniffs his brains out, because he doesn't know what it means to be a man. He doesn't know what righteousness is. You understand? He's not fulfilled in his life. And that's why he'll be living like a shadow of himself. You understand? You know what I mean? He'll just be existing. He'll never actually be fulfilling his life and living and be proud of where he's at. You probably find him dying in a gutter somewhere, or dying in the toilet of drug overdose, because he has chosen the path of unrighteousness, man. And we have to remember that in all things, man. So, if you drop that, and if you get me Proverbs again, yeah, chapter 6 and verse 23, Bob Kishar.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
There you go, man. This is throughout the Bible, throughout our records of our forefathers, man. Correction and order and structure. You understand? That is where we can find wisdom in life. You know what I mean? In order, in rank order, and in structure of our life, and how and rules to govern our lives, man. How we raise our children, what we eat. You understand? What we celebrate. You know what I mean? How we deal with one another. All these things, man, are revolve around brotherhood and sisterhood, because without them, there's nothing to govern you from being like you was in the world. There's nothing to govern brothers and sisters from living as we live today as a body of people. You know what I mean? The reason why people destroy themselves as they do is because there's nothing to govern them to do otherwise. You understand? Without the law and the structure and the correction, there can be nothing, man. You understand? There can be no life. That's why our brothers and sisters die on the streets. You know what I mean? Looking, watching their back, scared. You know what I mean? Trying to watch their back, their brothers, watching the police. You understand? In all things, because there is no. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure if it's the whole thing or what.
What?
Rawaban, can you hear it, or is it just me?
I can't hear anything.
So, Lakia, what are you saying?
It was cutting out, in and out. I'm not sure if it's just my side, or the the whole thing, basically.
Okay.
Oh, can I think it's that's up, and I think your connection might be
Yeah, it might be your connection, because yeah, because you kind of frozen right now as well.
Yeah, your video's frozen.
Same to me now. It's the same to me. I'm not sure.
Right. Just restart your thing, yeah. Just jump out and jump back in, innit? See what happens, yeah. All right, no. You understand? So like I was saying, you know what I'm saying? We have to. What was I saying? Okay, read that again, talk like it.
For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and the reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
So there you go, man. Reproofs and instructions is the way of life, man. That's the way of life that we blacks of the transatlantic slave trade, you know what I mean, Jamaicans, Trinidadians, you understand? You blacks of the Americas, you Brazilians, you understand? You Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Ecuadorians, you understand? Native Americans, Mexicans, all of our brothers, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, blacks of the transatlantic slave trade, and the natives of North, Central, South America. This is the way we should strive for, man. Not trying to be equal with our oppressor, not trying to be seeking their love and their, their approval. To hell with them, man. They hate you, man. And if you can't understand it, then you're just blind to see, because it's right in front of everybody. You cannot escape the reality of the world you live in. Only a fool wants to desire the clouds and the rainbows and fairy tale, rather than to look at the reality of nations of people and look at who you are and where you come from, man. You come from the line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. You are the sons and daughters of Yasha, and you have a place in this earth that no other nation has. And to not understand and see the basic things which happen in the world that you live in, trying to seek the love of other nations, it's not the way, man. Let other nations have their pride in each individual peoples. Let them have that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm fully down for it. But we should strive for our own pride in ourselves, man. Our own unity, man. Our own self-respect and our own culture that we have forsaken. We should look to ourselves, man, just like they do, man. We should not be begging and trying to be friend with everybody else. We should remember that our path is to serve the Most High, and reproof and correction and the way of life is the laws of the Most High, and it's the structure that He gave our forefathers a long time ago, and it is still in effect to this day, man. You understand? So I could drop that, yeah, and get me Proverbs again, chapter 3 and verse 11, Bob Kashar. All right, you back. All right, Most High in Christ. Can you hear me, yeah? Oh, no, sir. Go ahead, Robert.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 11. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord.
So there you go, man. Once again, we shouldn't despise the chastening of the Lord, man. You know what I mean? How you know it's just a chastening? How you know it's the chastening of the Lord is based on what the Lord said, man. The structure and the order, you know what I mean, that was given. That the men that are in charge, that is the structure, and that is how we know we're being corrected, by the order of things, man. You understand? And we should not despise that. We should not despise being checked. We should not despise being, you know what I mean? We should despise being out of place. We shouldn't be despised to be corrected, because that means that brother is showing me that I'm doing something wrong, or that, you know what I mean? That's understanding the scriptures. And we should not despise it, man. We should strive for being perfect. And the only way we can truly strive for being perfect is to know that you have brothers and sisters around you who also strive for perfection, and they also would have you show them if they're wrong, that something that they can't see they're doing something wrong. They want that helping hand, that helping brother, you know what I'm saying, or a brother or sister, to show them that they're doing something that's out of place, and that I want to be best, so that I want to receive all the help I can get. And that's what that means, man. That's what correction is, man. Correction is you getting that assistance from your brother or sister to help you out in your wrong situation. So they're trying to help you to receive the kingdom, just like they want to receive the kingdom, man. And that's what we should strive for, man. It's okay. Read on.
Oh, I can't. Neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth.
There you go, man. That's the true love of the Most High, man. Not like in the Christian church. You won't receive no correction, man. In the Christian church, you can be a faggot, you can be a whore, you can be a lesbian, you can do all kinds. You can eat unclean food, eat shrimp, crab, and lobster. You can celebrate pagan holidays, which are against the Most High. You can be a pagan. You can be a Satanist. You can worship the devil. You can love the oppressor. You can be just like him, and you can just be as gay as possible. Bang that tambourine and say Jesus, and then you're good. You can do that, and that won't find nothing, because why? The pastor only wants your money. He doesn't care about the state of the people. the righteous state of the people. He cares about his money, man. You understand? He cares about his money. And those pastors who don't know no better, and there are some pastors out there who maybe learn the truth and maybe understand certain things, and they are in the state of regret. They should get in all black and forsake that church. In fact, no, Salakia. They should get in all black and pay their tithes to Command Junior Honor and donate that building to the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? That's what you should do. You should donate that building to the UPK, you're local to you. You understand? And any of the people in the church that don't like it, they can go. But the church is devoted to the UPK. You understand? That's what you should do. If you were truly sincere and you didn't know no better, let's say you was a pastor and all in that church banging that tambourine, you thought that was the way it was because your grandma and your mum and all the rest of it, they said that's the way you should be. And then one day you in the church, you're a pastor and all the rest of it, and then you see the truth. You see these brothers that are no cowards, and see these brothers who do not trim their ways for nothing. They give you the raw truth. And then you understand that there are truly righteous men in this world. And then you should know what to do. You should pick a side in that day. You should forsake your Christianity and your foolishness and devote your service to the Lord, the Most High in Christ, truthfully, and under the men that he appointed in the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? You should donate that church to Command Junior Honor, to the priests and officers that the Lord has bestowed around you wherever you are scattered on the earth. You understand? But like I was saying, generally though, Christian church pastors, right? You understand? They ain't gonna reprove nobody. They ain't gonna correct nobody. There's no correction in there. That's why it is the way it is, because you got women in there teaching, you got women in there doing all kinds of madness, man. Sometimes now you even got women in there twerking, man. You know what I mean? And that's not of the Most High, man. These places and these establishments are not the Lord, because there is no instruction, no correction, and it is not according to the laws of our fathers. And that's how we must remember that, man. Remember, where there's laws and structures, and there is sound doctrine, that's where the Lord is. The Lord is of the I.S.U.P.K, man, under Command Junior Honor. You can't say that enough, because in this world today, everyone thinks that they got it. But really, really and truly, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who claim they have the truth, they have seen many different groups and they've seen the iniquity of them. But in the UPK, you won't find that, man. You will find righteous judgment in here. And you will find righteous leadership of our brothers and sisters. You understand? Read on.
Even it's like for whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father and son in whom he delighteth.
Go ahead.
Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding.
You know what I mean? Just like I read before. You know what I mean? When you choose a life of wisdom, when you achieve that righteousness and that wisdom, you will find true happiness, man. You find fulfillment in your life. You understand? Read on.
For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold.
So there you go, man. The merchandise of righteousness and wisdom is worth more than any carnal wealth you can find in this world, man. More than any gold, anything. You understand? Because you have found that level of wisdom, and you know what's to come and what to do at this time now. You understand? You know how to govern yourself and your family. But when you're in the world and you think that money is the goal, and you lose your soul finding it, and you lose your integrity finding it, that's no life to live, man. You understand? Right. That's nothing. Keep righteousness over all that wealth, man. You understand? Righteousness becomes before all of those things, man, because it is worth more than all of that. Because at the latter end, you will rule over the earth. You understand? You'll be ruling under our King Yahushua Christ, and you'll find a good bloodline of your sons and daughters of pure righteousness and pure honor in your household, man, that will last for generations to come. You understand? That's what we should strive for, not for the wealth of this kingdom, man. Now, yes, we understand that wealth is something that we need to maneuver in this world, and money is not a sin to have money, because that will just be retarded. But understanding that your main thing, your main goal in life should be the righteousness of the Lord, man. You understand? Right. You know what I mean? That should be your main thing in this world. You should try to make money for the service of the Lord. You understand? So that you can operate and do the work of the Lord, not to just so that's the ultimate goal, just to have money sitting there. No, you understand? There's a practicality to all things and how we do things in this world. And you have to understand that the ultimate goal is to serve the Most High in Christ. That's the ultimate goal, man. You know what I mean? And through that's how you can obtain brotherhood and sisterhood, because you can then know how to bestow that knowledge and wisdom and that help onto your brothers and sisters, man. You understand? What verse was that?
That's verse 14.
Yeah, go ahead.
She is more precious than rubies, and all the things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her.
Go ahead.
Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor.
There you go, man. You know what I mean? That's all that. That's what the wisdom gives you, man. Honor. You understand? Riches and honor, man. That's what you're gonna get. You know what I mean? When you serve the Most High, you adhere to wisdom. When you hearken unto wisdom, that's what you will achieve, man. You will have that, living a life of honor, and where you know you got what it. You know what I mean? You know your family. You know you're good. You know what I mean? You know you don't have to worry for nothing. Wherever you go on this planet Earth, the Lord is with you, man, because you live a blameless life. And that, you know what I mean, the police, you don't fear the police, you don't fear the gang member, you don't fear nothing, because the Lord is with you, man. You understand? But when you are unrighteous, read on.
Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her.
So this is like this is all the wisdom. This is the wisdom of the Most High, which is the law. You understand? And this is all of this is talking about the wisdom. What comes with the wisdom of the Most High. So read on.
And happy is every one that retaineth her. The Lord by wisdom hath founded the earth. By understanding hath he established the heavens.
There you go, man. By all this wisdom and understanding, that's how he established the earth and all the elements and everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Verse 20. By his knowledge the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down the dew. My son, let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion. So shall thy life, so shall they be life unto thy soul, and grace to thy neck.
When you keep to the wisdom of the Most High, you keep to the law and the structure. You understand? Of the law, the statutes, the laws and statutes of the Most High power. That's when you will find that wisdom, man. And you will have wisdom in all things and how to govern yourself and do things. You will only go forward. You understand? You know what I mean? You're going to find tribulation. You're going to find things. You're going to go through life. But, you know what I mean? Throughout all the things that you do, when you hold on to this wisdom and this strength and this righteousness, you will never go hungry. You never go astray. You understand? The Lord will always be with you. You'll always be strong and have your bare necessities. You understand? Read on.
Verse 23. Then shalt thou walk in thy way safely, and thy foot shall not stumble.
You understand? Everywhere you go, like I just said, you know what I mean? Everywhere you go, you have to worry about nothing. You have no fear, because you will have nothing to fear. The only thing you should fear is the Father. The Father is who we fear, man. You understand? Up in here, that's who we fear, the Father, man. That's all we fear. You know what I mean? We fear the Most High and his judgments. But we serve him. You understand what I'm saying? But we don't fear no man. We don't fear no oppressor or any other uncleanness of this world, man. We only down for what the Lord gave us. You understand? Read on.
Verse 24. When thou liest down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yea, thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet. Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh.
There you go, man. And we will also not be afraid of the desolation of the wicked too, because we will know what's to come. You understand? The destruction of this empire, man, of Babylon, which is America, man. You understand? And all the other heads of the dragon, like the UK and other parts of Europe, you understand, that support this dragon. You understand? That are involved in the same coalition, and all the other heathen nations, they will come to naught, man. All that love and love to serve with them, they will be destroyed, man. All their military might, all their space force and their navy, air force, everything will be destroyed, man. And that's what you have to remember. The Christianity, the Islam, all of that will be destroyed. All that they hold on dear to, all that they've governed their entire, you understand, their entire nation to will be destroyed. So like a something. D-Dubs, what do you say? Boris Johnson insists the end is really in sight. It's like it is in sight. These devils know it. You're damn right. You understand? These devils do know that their end is coming, man. That's why Trump put a space force out. You know what I'm saying? That's why he initiated the space force, because they know the end is coming, and there's nothing they can do about it. And all these kingdoms will be destroyed, man. You understand? And we will not fear. Those who are righteous will not have that fear of the coming destruction. When the Most High sends his chariots and these army of angels, man, the Alahayim, come to destroy and bring great slaughter to these lands, we will not fear it, man. We will rejoice in that day. We'll be happy. We'll say La Yasha Allah in that day. We'll be drinking some nice something. You know what I mean? Rum, whatever, beer, whatever thing, whatever there's a drink, man. We'll be drinking and we'll be, you know what I mean, saluting the Most High in Christ while they are being slaughtered, man. While they're being subdued and enslaved, you understand? So like if you drop that, yeah, and you get me again, Proverbs again, you understand? 23 and verse 13, because these are the wise sayings of King of Israel, you understand? Wisdom of Solomon, you know, Slack is Solomon, right? King Solomon. These are the wise sayings of the Most High. These are the wise sayings of righteous men, you understand? These are the wise sayings that are noted to the Lord, you understand? And these are the wise sayings that we should govern our lives by, man. Not by the precept of men, meaning, when I say not the precept of men, meaning not unrighteous heathens who say YOLO. You understand? YOLO is not a wise saying of any or that is not authorized by the Most High.
Right.
In Proverbs is where you find the wise sayings of the Lord, and these are authorized by the men that was appointed by the Most High. You understand? King Solomon more specifically. So I can read on.
Come on. The book of Proverbs, chapter 23 and verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
Withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die.
So there you go. That's a very literal sense and figuratively as well. So literally, yes, you know what I mean. When you have your children and you pity them, you beat them, man. That's our culture, man. You get that belt, man. You show them what's what, and they will not what. Read that again.
Oh, I can't. He shall not die.
You know what I mean? He will not die. You know why he won't die? Because he won't be running around with his pants below his ankles and trying to smoke weed and sell drugs and destroy his community, and then he won't be gunned down by one of his own brothers. He won't be in fear of that. Or, you understand, he will have the Lord, the Most High, in his heart, meaning his mind, and he will live accordingly, and the Lord will be with him, and then no policeman can gun him down in the street. You understand? If he is raised righteously and he is given that correction. You understand? And just like our brothers that come in the truth, man, same thing. When they have been given that correction, figuratively, of course, not when they're beating nobody, you know what I'm saying? But when they've been given that correction, they learn how to be, and then they will not die. They will not die a dishonorable death, dying of drug overdose, gang violence. You understand? The police killing us, the oppressor killing us some way. You understand? That's what we need as a nation of people, man. That's how you know your son won't die, when you raise him accordingly, and he hearkens to it. That's how you know your son will not die. You know what I mean? Because you gave him that correction. He will get beat. You know what I mean? Growing up, he'll get that belt. I got that belt. Everybody knows about that belt. You understand? Or that slipper. You understand? But that governed you to not be a certain way. That governed you to the man you are today, man. For the most part, for the most brothers, you know what I mean, who was done properly, not abuse. Now there's a difference. We're not talking about abuse now, because there is abuse within our community too. And that's another thing as well. Like, that's not correction. When you're blatantly beating the life out of the child, like, nah, there's an order of things, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Some things you should just know. You know what I mean? But listen, there's you know what I mean, there's a moderation in all things. You understand that. You know what I mean? You don't wanna abuse your children. You know what I mean? You want to correct them, but they want to know, listen, they've been corrected. They know that the consequence for breaking certain laws within the household and certain conducts that are dishonorable. And you understand? And that's something that we should all understand as well. When you are given correction, regardless of the carnal sense of the children, or whether it's the figurative sense, literal, verbal correction, that will save you from death, man. And that is brotherhood. You understand? That's brotherhood and sisterhood. When When you're given correction, that is brotherhood, because you're being guided aright. You're being shown the way to be, to keep you from death, to keep you from dying in the street like your brothers, dying a dishonorable death. You understand? That will keep you aligned and keep you right, because that correction is what keeps you in line and helps you to stay on this narrow path. Because it's hard to stay on this path, man. Because it will keep you from going into the path where everyone else is, man. It will keep you from the path of being dishonorable and following after everybody else's fashion, following the crowd. That's what will keep you from. You understand? Yeah, read on. Nothing to say on. Yeah, drop that. And can you get me Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 17? I believe that is. Yeah, that's in the Apocrypha. Which is
Wisdom of Solomon 6, 13.
Verse 17, Salakia.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6, verse 17. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline. And the care of discipline is love.
So there you go, man. The very first desire of her, the her is referring to wisdom. That's what the her is. You know what I'm saying? The her is the wisdom of the Most High. And when you desire that wisdom and that correction, read that again, Salaki.
Proverbs chapter 6, verse 17. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline.
There you go, man. That's the beginning of wisdom. When you desire discipline, when you desire order and structure in your life, that's the beginning of wisdom. That's when you will truly find it. That's where it all begins. When you actually desire the discipline in your life, you desire rules and structure. That's when you will find wisdom. Read on.
And the care of discipline is love.
Read on.
Verse 18. And love is the keeping of her laws.
There you go, man. Love is the keeping of the laws, man. That's what love is. As you read out throughout the Bible, love is the keeping of the laws of the Most High. Read on.
And the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption.
There you go, man. You know what I mean? That assures that you will never be corrupted by this world. You'll never be corrupted by the uncleanness and the vile, devilish, unclean world that we live in, full of these oppressors and heathens and their vile traditions and ways. When you hearken unto the laws of your fathers, man, you will never be corrupted by this world. You never conform unto the foolishness of this world. Never try to join the police force. Never try to join their military and be with them, man. You will be pure and you will serve the Most High in Christ and love your people, man, and not be in a position to oppress your own people. That's what you desire to do, man. You understand? Read on.
Assurance of incorruption. Verse 19. And incorruption maketh us near unto God.
There you go. Read on.
Verse 20. Therefore, desire the wisdom. Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to kingdom.
So I can say that again. The desire of wisdom does what?
Verse 20 again. Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom.
There you go, man. The desire of wisdom, the keeping of the laws of the Most High, the desiring of that discipline, that's what will achieve the kingdom, man. That's what will achieve the kingdom of the Most High, man. When we desire that, all throughout the last end, we will find that kingdom, man. I mean, throughout the discipline and keeping to discipline and those rules and that structure, then you at the last end, you will find the kingdom, man. That's the great reward at the end. Read on.
Verse 21. If your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore.
So there you go. If you desire thrones, a crown, and a scepter is a staff that a king holds in his hand. You know what I mean? because he holds the power. You understand? That's what a scepter represents, and that's what a king would have in his hand. And if you desire that rulership, basically, you understand, you desire rulership in the kingdom, you will desire you will strive for wisdom. You will strive for the commandments and the laws of the Most High and the statutes which govern our people, which govern our nation, man. You understand? Which the Lord gave our forefathers. You understand? That's what you will desire. If you desire rulership over these nations and judgment, and you desire retribution for the crimes of these evil nations and these unclean, wicked bastards, man, you will desire the kingdom, and you through that you will desire wisdom, and through that you will desire discipline, and that's the only way, man. That is the only way to find justice in this world, is through the service of the Most High. This is the only way. This ain't the Christian church where you can do what you want and feel good and say, bang a tambourine and say Jesus loves everybody, and then hug your oppressor and be a damn coon. Nah, man, this ain't that. This is about structure and coming back to the truth of the Lord and waiting at the last end. Because listen, we ain't, you know what I mean, everybody wants to go to church, everyone wants to join a mosque, everyone wants to do all these things, but there's very few who are in the truth. Those are the ISUPK who have kept to the sound doctrine that was given unto us by the elders, which was given unto them by the Most High. That is the few that will stand and that will rule at the last end. You understand? So like that was verse 24, right?
So 21.
Okay, no, so yeah, drop that, yeah, and get me Job chapter 36 and verse 5, Bob Kashar.
Sorry, is it Job 5 and 36 or 35 and 36?
No, suck it. Job 36 and verse 5.
Come on. Book of Job, chapter 36 and verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, God is mighty and despiseth not any. He is mighty in strength and wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
He preserveth not the life of the wicked, but giveth right to the poor.
So there you go, man. He doesn't preserve the life of the wicked. He doesn't preserve the life of them that choose to dishonor themselves and their people. You understand? He gives life to those who are poor and those who are struggling, but those who serve the Most High in their righteousness. That's who the Lord is with, man. You understand? The Lord will look to the brothers who, even in their low state, they still strive for righteousness, man, because they refuse to defile themselves with the things of this world that make them rich. You understand? Read on.
He preserveth not the life. He withdraweth not his eyes from the righteous, but with kings are they on the throne.
Mm-hmm.
Yea, he doth establish them forever, and they are exalted.
Go ahead.
And if they be bound in fetters and be holden in cords of affliction, then he sheweth them their work and their transgressions that they have exceeded.
So, if they be in fetters and they be what? Read that again, Slakia.
If they be in bounds in fetters and be holden in cords of affliction,
mm-hmm.
then he sheweth them their work and their transgressions that they have exceeded.
So there you go, man. When they are bound by fetters and they're in the cords they're bound by the fetters and bound by the cords of affliction. You understand? You know what I mean? When they're bound by that. So okay, read the verse above it again. I missed it.
And if they be bound in fetters and be
above that. So okay.
He withdraweth not his eyes from the righteous, but with kings are they on the throne.
Mm-hmm.
Yea, he doth establish them forever, and they are exalted.
Mm-hmm.
And if they be bound in fetters and be holden in cords of affliction, then he sheweth them their work and their transgressions that they have exceeded.
So there you go. Through those bounds of affliction and those fetters, that's how he will show them their transgression. He will show them their sins, their wickedness, you understand? Because they'll be bound by their affliction. You understand? Read on.
Verse 10. He openeth also their ear to discipline,
mm-hmm.
and commandeth that they return from iniquity.
So there you go, man. They'll be in affliction because of their wickedness, and then he will open their ears to the wisdom. You understand? He'll open their ears to understanding the laws of the Father and to show them, to give them that chance to come back, to restore themselves. You understand? Read on.
Khan. Verse 11. If they obey and serve him, they shall spend their days in prosperity and their years in pleasures.
There you go, man. So that's why the affliction, the cords of affliction, and the fetters, and he has to open their eyes, because he has to put our people through all these things to show us that we're living like animals. You understand? We're living like the beasts of the field, and we shouldn't be. You understand? That's why the people are oppressed, and we suffer the way we do, because the Lord is trying to show us, you know what I mean, all the wickedness of our deeds. You understand? And now it's saying, if we hearken now unto the Most High and we change our ways, then we will receive that great reward. You understand? But read on. Go ahead.
Yeah. Because we've been envying and following the ways of the oppressors and all the heathens round about us, wherever they are. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why we can't see. That's why we can't see. You understand? To return to the Lord. But then he says what? If they obey his voice, you understand? Meaning to turn from following them oppressors and them heathens, and be part of, you understand, the ways of the heathens or the ways of the other nations, and return to the Lord, then we'll have our good success, man.
Right. That's right, man. Damn right. You understand? Yeah. Read on from that, Bob Kishore.
Khan. But if they obey not, they shall perish by the sword, and they shall die without knowledge.
There you go, man. If they do not hearken to the laws of the Father, and they do not hearken to the discipline, and they don't see through all the affliction that they've been put through, they still can't see that they're still continuing to eat swine's flesh. They're still continuing to be homosexual, still continuing to be dishonorable. Well, then if they don't want to hearken, then they will read that one more time, Bob Kishore.
Khan. But if they will not obey, they shall perish by the sword, and they shall die without knowledge.
There you go, man. They will perish by the sword, just like our brothers who die in the streets, man. You understand? Die at the hands of the heathen. Die at the hands of their own brothers. They will perish by the sword and die without wisdom. You understand? They'll die without the law. They'll die with no honor, basically. They'll die a dishonorable death because they have picked a side. They were cold, man. They were bitter cold like the winter's snow. But they did not desire to be boiling hot and down for this truth. They were weak and they hated their people. They had hatred for their brothers and sisters, and they desired their own carnality rather than what the Bible says, rather than what our ancient records say and command us to live and conduct ourselves. And they found death. You understand? They desired their brother's head, and the Lord had His judgment upon them. And that's what it is, man. When we desire to destroy ourselves and destroy our own people and be just weak and wicked, we will never find no great reward, man. Like I said earlier, you know what I mean? Our brothers that choose lives of dishonorable lifestyles, criminal lifestyles, you understand, and become cowardly in destroying their own people and selling drugs and killing their own brothers and sisters, they will not find that great wealth when you see the movies, man. You know who does find that? The Italians, you know what I mean? The oppressor. You know who does find that? The Arabs, you understand? The East Indian. They find that level of what the Chinese, the Japanese. They can live criminal lifestyles and live like in the movies. That's what they do. You know what I mean? They wear the nice suits and that, and they be murdering the hell out of anybody that rivals them, and they sell all the manners of drugs, and they live lavish. They live great. But you, black man, you Hispanic man, you Native American man, you want to do that, and you end up going to jail. You end up dying. You know what I mean? You die of drug overdose. You understand? You get your reward. You find the true reward of the Lord. That's what you find. And that's what you have to reality. That's the reality you must understand. You must understand that it is not worth giving our love to these other nations and forsaking the love of the Most High. Forsaking the love of the Most High in Christ and destroying our own people, man. It's not worth it, man. Because you won't even find nothing there. You know what I mean? Even in that little foolishness. You know what I mean? You ain't living like that, man. You understand? Maybe for a time, the Lord may give you that level of mercy. But at the latter end, you will still find your judgment. whatever you may think or whatever you may say, the judgment will come, and that's something you cannot escape. Lord will have His judgment and have His way with you. You understand? So, like, what verse was that?
That's verse 12.
Okay, no sweat. If you drop that and you get me Ecclesiasticus chapter 18 and verse 11, Baba Kishar.
Slacky, I say 18.
Say again.
Let's say Ecclesiasticus, what, 18?
Yeah, Khan, 18 and verse 11.
God. Ecclesiasticus chapter 18, verse 11. Therefore is God patient with them, and poureth forth his mercy upon them. Verse 12. He saw and perceived their end to be evil. Therefore he multiplied his compassion. Verse 13.
So I can read that last bit again. He multiplied his what?
Therefore he multiplied his compassion.
Right. So there you go. So the Lord saw the wickedness and the iniquity and the destroyed mindset and the wicked, evil hearts of our brothers and sisters, man, of our people in their state of self-destruction and hatred to their own brothers and sisters for foolishness for the most time. You understand? And He saw that unrighteousness and that lawfulness, and He then increased His compassion unto us, man. You understand? That's the Most High power that we serve. He is a terrible power when it comes down to it. All that we have endured as a people, that is the judgment of the Lord. You have to remember that, man. All that we have endured is the judgment of the Most High. But know this, that even in all that, He can be the most terrible power, but at the same time, He still increased His compassion unto us. You understand? All that we have done. If you read the whole book of Judges, read that. If you look at our people today, from the 50s on up, you know what I'm saying? You look at all the history. Look at how many times we have, as a nation of people, have gone into captivity because of our iniquity. That's throughout the entire book of Judges. You can read the whole book, you understand? And throughout the Bible, every captivity that we've been in and all the times that we've fallen astray as a nation of people, and the Lord has increased His compassion unto us, man. At this time, at the last end, this is the time where the Lord, you understand, is bringing judgment to this earth, man. You understand? He's bringing His judgment onto these nations, and this is the time when we should come back to our heritage. This is the time when listen, man, you mess up this time, listen, man, the Lord is gonna come back with something, because all this compassion and mercy that He has given us, and yet still you want to rebel against the laws of the Father. Listen, man, like we read earlier, you know what I'm saying? You will find the sword, you will find the bus that hits you on your way out. You understand? You will find that car crash or that earthquake or drown somewhere. You don't even know, man. You may just pass out one day, and that just be it. Because the Lord does not play. The Lord is not one to be playing with. You understand? But we must also remember that the Lord has such compassion unto us that if we are living and breathing right here and now, and we are able and well, we should strive to serve the Most High in righteousness, man. You understand? But read on.
Okay. Let's see. The mercy of a man is towards his neighbor, but the mercy of the Lord is upon all flesh. He reproveth and nurtureth and teacheth and bringeth again as a shepherd his flock.
So there you go, man. That's why you got these brothers out in these streets, man, teaching this truth out here in these classes and out in camp around the world, because he is guiding his sheep back to Him, man. You understand? Back to their home. That's what He's doing. He's guiding his sheep back to Him and reproofing them and teaching them the laws of back to their heritage. You understand? That's what the Lord is doing in the midst of all that we have done and committed against the Most High. You understand? Read on.
See, He has mercy on them that receive discipline, and delightly seek after His judgment.
There you go, man. So he has mercy on them that seek discipline, that seek a life of selflessness, and seek to look over the foolishness of their own carnal mind and their own little feelings, and they seek discipline rather to forsake how they feel about a matter and move forward in the service of the Most High. They commit themselves to discipline by changing their life and doing what is right rather than what they feel or think is right. You understand? That's who the Lord has mercy upon, man. You understand? Those who have sincerely forsaken their wickedness and have striven and strived for that righteous path, man. You understand? Read on.
Right. Verse 15. My son, blemish not thy good deeds.
Mm-hmm.
Neither use uncomfortable words when thou givest anything.
So let's not blemish our good deeds, basically. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at all that we do and let us do what is right for the sake of it, man. Let's not do because you feel this way, you feel a certain way about doing what's right now, man. Let's just do what is right. So like, drop that here, and can get me same book here, Ecclesiasticus chapter 23 and verse 7, Bob Kashal.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 23 verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Hear, O ye children, the discipline of the mouth. He that keepeth it shall never be taken in his lips.
Mm-hmm.
8 verse 8. The sinner shall be left in his foolishness.
So read that one more time, Bob Kashal. Salakia.
The sinner.
No, the first bit. Okay. From the top here, Bob Kashal, from the top.
Ecclesiasticus 23 verse 7.
Go on.
Hear, O ye children, the discipline of the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
He that keepeth it shall never be taken in his lips.
So there you go. He that keepeth that discipline, you know what I mean, knows to control himself and knows what to say at the right time. You understand, at the appointed time. He will not be taken by his lips, meaning what? He will not have to regret what he said the other day or regret what he did. He can't, you know what I mean, because you can't take it back. So he won't be taken by his lips, his mouth that he couldn't control. You know what I'm saying? But read on.
Verse 8. The sinner shall be left in his foolishness.
The sinner will be left in his foolishness because why? He did not you understand, he could not control his mouth, you understand? And in that he's only found to be foolish. He would find that shame and embarrassment because he had no discipline to control himself, you understand? Read on.
Both the evil speaker and the proud shall fall thereby.
There you go, man. The evil speaker and the proud, the one who's too proud to receive correction and chastisement, you understand? They will fall at the last end, man. Those who forsake discipline and order and structure of the Most High, they will fall at the last end. And through and being subject unto the Lord and the structure of the Most High, you know what I mean? And that is where we can achieve brotherhood, man. Because that's when we can all work together to achieve a greater goal. You understand? Help one another to be righteous. You understand? So if you read, that's it on that, right?
I think verse 9.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 9. Accustom not thy mouth to swearing.
Mm-hmm.
Neither use thyself to the naming of the Holy One.
So, meaning what? Swearing is not talking about saying F this or F that. That's not a swear. That's just a derogatory term. You may be rude in speech and saying bitch or saying F this. You know what I'm saying? That's just being rude in speech. But a swear is vowing and speaking on the Lord, and then, you know what I mean, you don't have the right to do that. You understand? You making a vow and saying you're gonna do this, and you say, you know what I mean? That's why in the school we say Lord allow. You understand? Or we say You know what I mean? That's why we say Lord allow. Lord allow I'll do this. Because we don't say that I'm going to do this, I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? We don't put ourselves, that's a swear. A swear is making a vow, an open vow, and then putting the Lord's name into it. You understand? That's what that is. That's what that means. That's being proudful as well, because you know what I'm saying, you're not even acknowledging the Most High and our King. You're just making yourself to be something, and you're just slandering the Most High's name like anything. You understand? Read on.
Verse 10. For as a servant that is continually beaten shall not be without a
So break that down, so like it is up one. What does that mean?
black. I'm getting that from that. So like if okay. For as a servant that is continually beaten shall not be without a blue mark. You know, like when someone say I beat you till it's black and blue. So for a servant that is continually beaten, continually chastised till it's black and blue, shall not be without a blue mark. Shall not be without a mark.
Not be without what? So like I say again.
Not be without a mark or a blue mark or a scourge in them.
Right. Go ahead, read on.
God. So he that sweareth and named God continually shall be, Salakia, shall not be faultless. So if you swearing and using the Lord continually shall not be faultless.
So like I say again, to not be what?
Okay. So
no, just repeat the word you used. I didn't hear the word you said.
Yeah, let me read it again.
Okay, go on.
So he that sweareth and named God continually shall not be faultless. So you swearing and using the name of the Lord as you explained before, using it what? In vain, so to speak, right? Shall not be faultless. Right. The Lord using the name of the Lord in vain, the Lord shall not hold him countless that uses his name in vain. So that person shall be chastised, that servant shall be continually beaten. So
right. All right, Most High in Christ. Yeah, man. Okay, so officer is up on you on your phone, so you can't do it. But with that's the class. I pass the class over to Trooper or Albon with the announcements. Clap it up.
Security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding Johnny YAHANNA. Rules for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18 and 21, Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or the teacher. Priest fund is a free will offering for the priest, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. Do we know any dates for that? It's just the ending of the feast of unleavened bread.
The closing of the Passover, which is on Sunday.
Cool.
Oh, okay. And all acumen and aqua, remember to set the bulletin board in the hallway. And if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. That's boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, I nod him. Right to face the east and start with the Lord's Prayer. Abinawa. Bashamayim. Dash. Ayah. Shabka. Yahweh. Malakwafka. Taba'a. Watazaka. Ayah. Aisha. Barataza. Hawa. Ayah. Washamayim. Nathalanawa. Nakam. Kalyawam. Wasalakinawa.
Kawabwathinawa.
Kawabathanawa.
Kasalakinawa.
Kasalakanawa.
Kawabwathinawa.
Kawabathanawa.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Nabiya
Ainawa.
Wanasaya 1.
Wanasaya 1.
Abal.
Ball.
Kawashainawa.
Oshinawa.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Rai.
Right.
Maya.
Kaya.
Lakar.
Laka.
Malakweth.
Amalakwath.
Waha'ala.
Waha'ala.
Lathaparith.
Lahathbarith.
Iwalamium.
The Iwalamian.
Aman.
Oh man, and in the English, our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come.
thy will be done,
Thy will be done
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts,
and forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
And lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us
but deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
Thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
And with that, that's the courtesy salute. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahweh
Yahweh Shem Yahweh.
Yes, Matar. Class dismissed. Alright, Shalom. Yahweh Shem Thumb.
Allah. Shem Yahweh.